of the people we want.
Touchdown for Washington, D.C. President Trump announcing the nation's capital as host of the 2027 NFL Draft, possibly on the National Mall.
Very, very amazing, I think, for D.C., but even for the country.
The news comes ahead of Trump hosting a key player in his tariff turf war, the Canadian Prime Minister, Mark Carney. Amid the ongoing trade war and Trump's threats to make Canada a 51st state, the relationship with one of the U.S.'s strongest allies has soured.
They all want to make a deal because we have something that they all want.
The administration on Monday also threatening tariffs on all foreign-made movies, as Trump doubled down on his tariff policy over the weekend during an exclusive interview on Meet the Press, insisting the strategy would eventually bring back manufacturing to the U.S., but in the short term, acknowledging Americans could face pain, including higher prices, supply shortages, and a possible recession.
Is it okay in the short term to have a recession?
This. Look, yeah, everything's okay. What we are, I said, this is a transition period. I think we're going to do fantastically.
The president playing the blame game and only taking credit for the positives.
I think the good parts are the Trump economy and the bad parts are the Biden economy because he's done a terrible job. He did a terrible job.
NBC's Kristen Welker pressed the president on his immigration crackdown and mass deportation efforts. Asked whether every person in the U.S., regardless of citizenship status, deserves due process, which is guaranteed by the Fifth Amendment.
We'd have to have 1 million or 2 million or 3 million trials.
But even given those numbers that you're talking about, don't you need to uphold the Constitution of the United States as president?
I don't know. I have to respond by saying again, I have brilliant lawyers that work for me. And they are going to obviously follow what the Supreme Court said.
Though, in fact, the Supreme Court has already ruled the Trump administration must allow immigrants basic due process rights.
Meanwhile, in the Capitol, California Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi slamming the Trump administration's latest proposal to reopen Alcatraz, the former notorious prison on an island off of San Francisco. Pelosi calling the plan, quote, not serious, emphasizing the prison shuttered its doors more than 60 years ago and is now a very popular tourist attraction. In Washington, Julie Sirkin, NBC News.